What's up, guys? I'm JJ.
I'm Javier.
And this is PM Football. I sound sick, so if everybody is wondering why I sound like this, that's why I sound like this. We're going to do some overreactions from week 1 of the NFL. There were a lot of things that happened.
Yeah.
And that's everybody's gut reaction to week 1 of the NFL.
It's very easy to overreact to some things after week 1. So we're going to share some things that we believe the other person would just tell us if we're overreacting or if what we're saying is very reasonable.
And please let us know if you think we're overreacting, if both of us agree.
Yes.
We each have 3, but we also have an honorable mention apiece because there's a lot of things we overreacting about.
Yeah.
All right, starting things off. My first overreaction. I think the Chiefs are as vulnerable as they've ever looked. I think that they have a ton of injuries. Their offense struggled to get things going without Worthy, without Rashee Rice. They don't have a run game. Pat Mahomes looks very limited into what he can do because they don't really have anything. Travis Kelce's 38, 50, 35 going on 85. Like, he looks old. The defense was arguing with each other on the field after the game. Like, they don't look like they're on the same page right now. And the biggest thing is that they could start out 0-2 this week because they play the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah. I mean, that's a real possibility.
Am I overreacting?
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
The only reason I say that, and maybe this is just default how my brain is wired, you still have Patrick Mahomes. You still have Andy Reid. You still have Travis Kelce. You still have weapons. You still have a decent O-line. You still have a pretty decent defense. You went against a pretty solid to good regular season Chargers team. I said regular season for a reason. A good, very good regular season Chargers team. I think it is a bit of an overreaction. I just can't help but think it will eventually come together because that's the way it's been for 8 to 10 years now.
They just got to hope that they can get healthy.
Yeah, and look, I agree. It was not the best performance by them. It wasn't the most convincing performance by them. But just being who they are, like, you don't get to 3 straight Super Bowls. What was it, 5 of the last 6? Something,
you don't have to
something
remind
crazy
me.
like that. Like, sorry about that. Like, either way, whatever insane stat it is, you don't get there coincidentally, then all of a sudden you fall off a cliff. Like, I think eventually it'll get figured out, but it will be very concerning if they do end up falling 0-2 this week, and it's a possibility.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, it is a possibility. My honorable mention, it was part of my original list, but then something happened today to where it doesn't make as much sense as it did before. Mine was that Jalen Carter's this generation's Josh Gordon. What do I mean by that?
Yeah.
You remember Josh Gordon? Yeah. All the talent in the world, so dominant on the football field, but he was too dumb to just not do certain things and not get suspended and not get himself in trouble. That is what Jalen Carter is to me, except he ended up not getting a suspension. It would have made a lot more sense if he did get suspended a game or 2, which I thought was going to happen, but he didn't. Regardless, I think this is a pattern with Jalen Carter, though. Like, he already had character concerns. He already has had issues and trouble. I think if it continues and there's really no sign saying it won't continue, I think it will continue. If he continues with just the nonsense and the stupidity, the fines will rack up, the suspensions will rack up, and it will get to a point where he is the reason why he can't play games, won't be there for his team. Yeah. Which is why I say he is this generation's Josh Gordon. Am I overreacting?
I think a little bit.
Okay.
I'll give you a little bit of an overreaction. I don't think he's going to go out of the way of just completely taking himself out of
is that not what he literally did on Thursday? He literally went out of his way to spit on Dak Prescott as if referees and cameras
and the
are
water boy
all just right there staring at the both of them.
Yeah.
Like, how dumb can you be?
Oh, I'm not defending the fact that he is not the brightest of the bunch, but I think this might have been a one-off, and I just don't think he will ever do anything. I mean, and you look. So this is where you're going to get the point, though, because he's already done something really stupid in his life before he got into the NFL.
Yes.
And you would think that after that
he
lesson,
would learn from that.
that he wouldn't even think to be doing it.
Ray Lewis learned from his dumb lesson.
Yeah.
You would think Jalen Carter could do the same. Now, I agree. I would hope he doesn't spit on another player again for the rest of his NFL career.
Or in just his life in general. That's
What
usually
he does
good.
outside the lines.
It's a good
is on
rule
him.
of thumb.
However, I could see him doing other things to where it could lead to suspensions.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm saying, like, I just think he could be this generation's Josh Gordon, just stupidity after stupidity. Now you can't play for your team.
That's why I said a little bit.
Okay, I'll give you that.
I just don't think it'll ever get to this point
Okay.
again. But who knows? Maybe he
Never
will.
know.
He's not the
for
brightest.
For my team's sake, kind of hope he does.
Yeah.
But like, I don't want to wish that bad on another man.
Same degree as to what I was saying about mine. For my team's sake, I
Yeah,
hope the
I get
Chiefs
you.
are just done, but
Yeah, you never know.
you gotta hope.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're gonna get to
Our actual list.
overreactions that we
Yeah.
have from week 1, starting with mine. I think, all off season the talks were: is Jaden Daniels gonna have this sophomore slump?
Mm-hmm.
Is Michael Penix really as good as he is? He looked like he was pretty solid in that first week. They
Michael
ended up
Penix
losing the
guys.
game, but they looked
Yep.
pretty good. Not a lot of talk was being had about Bo Nix.
Yep.
Everyone just kind of assumed they were going to roll into the season with that elite defense, and that the offense would just kind of figure things out. He almost cost them the game. So, my first overreaction is it a sophomore slump season for Bo Nix? He threw 2 picks and had a lost fumble in the game against the Tennessee Titans, who had just had the first pick.
Pretty bad team. Yeah.
He went 25 of 40 for only 176 yards. That's 7 yards of completion.
Yeah.
And I understand that's the type of offense that they want to run in Denver. But you only put up 20 points on it. And I'm not trying to hate on Tennessee's defense, but when you think about a good defense, Tennessee's not really popping into your head.
Not at all.
So, he just looked rough. And I think a lot of people just kind of overlooked him because of the way that he plays quarterback, and he plays this very safe game. And they just kind of thought that would transition
Very
to
schematic.
that they just thought that would kind of transition to the next season, and you didn't really have to worry about him. But he really did not look good on this past game.
2 things. One, I'm so happy that finally another quarterback not named Jaden Daniels is talking about having a sophomore slump. Because all offseason, it was only Jaden can have a sophomore slump. No one else. So I'm happy finally there's another name being talked about with a sophomore slump. However, I do think it's a bit of an overreaction. The reason I say that is because if you look at last year, the first few games of Bo Nix didn't look all that convincing. Wasn't as bad as it was this Sunday, but he wasn't anything to really rave about.
Yeah.
I can't help but think as the season goes on, as he gets more comfortable, it will be a repeat of last year where he just improves game after game and just the offense settles down easier for him and it just comes naturally to him.
It's just, the thing he has to fall back for, at least, is that his defense is elite.
Yes.
And that will keep him in.
That's what keep you
basically
in games.
every game.
That's
that you
what
play.
keep you in games.
So I think he has it a lot easier than a lot of these quarterbacks that are in their first, second, third years. Like the Broncos, arguably, are the best defense in the NFL.
There's a legit argument. I think it's guaranteed top 3, top 5.
Yeah, I think top 3 without a question. I would argue they're the best.
There's a real argument for that. Yeah.
But meaning, Bo Nix, for me to at least not count it as a sophomore slump. We were saying C.J. Stroud had a sophomore slump last year.
He really
didn't.
Yeah.
So if C.J. Stroud's going to get criticized for having a sophomore slump last year, I think it's only fair to give Bo Nix the same treatment.
Yeah. And I agree to where even if he barely improves from last week, then yes, you could say that's sophomore slump. I just think it would be a repeat of last year where game after game he shows you can rely on him in that specific offense.
Yeah.
Because it's a very QB-friendly offense. It fits what his strengths are, which is a very quick game, a lot of rollouts, a lot of play action, just play
It's a lot
it
of short
safe.
game, yeah.
Yeah, so I think as the season progresses, he will look a lot better than what he did this past Sunday. So I will say he's a bit of an overreaction for that.
All right, fair.
My first potential overreaction, The Dolphins will have the first overall pick in this upcoming draft. Last week when we did our weekly game predictions, look out for this week's version of that. We said when it was the Dolphins versus the Colts, it was super trash versus mega trash.
Yeah.
Like, it was just two trash teams. And I still believe that. Even though the Colts absolutely killed them, I don't think it's because the Colts are good. I just think Miami is just that bad. There was nothing positive that came out of that game. Not even a sliver of hope came out from that game for Miami. I think legitimately they will have the first overall pick this upcoming draft.
Not only do I agree with you, I will go as far to say Mike McDaniel is not going to be their head coach by week 5.
I think week 5's a little soon. I would guarantee by week 10 he's gone if this continues.
They don't have a defense.
It was so bad.
Their offense is so dysfunctional. Tua turned the ball over, is arguably the worst quarterback in the NFL right now.
Which is, look.
Argue with the wall if you want to say somebody else. He does not know how to play quarterback.
There are a lot of great quarterbacks in the NFL this day and age with how the NFL has evolved. There's also a lot of pretty bad ones.
Yes.
And I agree with you. If we're basing it off of week 1, it is hard to look at any other quarterback from the 31 other teams and say they did worse than what Tua did on Sunday. It was bad.
You want to know the worst thing?
What?
That might have been the most he's ever been protected in a game. And he's still...
It was so bad, man.
Like... He played worse with better protection. How does that work? And I've been saying this about Mike McDaniel for so many years now that it worked so well when people had no idea what was happening out there.
When you were new to this.
But guess what?
Couldn't game plan for you.
Every team in the NFL does exactly what you do now. You're not reinventing the wheel. You have already shown us the same plays for 3 straight years, and you wonder why everyone is figuring out how you play football because you never change your script. It's the same plays, and you just think, oh, we still have Tyreek Hill, we have Jalen Waddle. It worked that 1 year 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Now, why wouldn't it work again? It's because they've seen you do it 400 times.
The NFL is always evolving, revolving, whatever you want to call it. It's always moving and changing. I agree with you. He isn't bringing anything new to the table, and maybe it's roster-wise. Like, they don't have the best roster.
Offensively, they do have a good team.
I'd say, but at the same time, I feel like you have enough talent to not put up the performance you put on Sunday, because that was awful.
You want to know what really sold me early on in Mike McDaniel's career of why I thought he would never work as a head coach?
Why?
He, in one of his first interviews of getting hired, said the first time he met with Tua, they watched every single snap that were good plays of Tua's. He didn't even watch the bad plays of Tua. And I can't remember word for how it was said. But basically, the reporter was like, so you didn't watch any of the bad plays? And he said, no, because those don't matter. How are you not going to show your quarterback how to fix the mistakes he's making?
And you know what? That's a very good point. Can you name something Tua did early in his career that you could look on? I was like, he does that a lot better than he did before.
No,
me neither. Because
he never taught him how to fix it.
Oh man, it's unfortunate. You have Tyreek Hill. Like, yes, Tyreek Hill's older.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's still Tyreek Hill.
Still a top 15. It's safe. Maybe you could argue higher just to be safe. Top 15 receiver without a doubt.
Argue maybe lower.
Let's say top 15.
I'll give you 20.
One of the best number 2s in the entire league. That
when he's
could
on
be
the field.
number 1 on certain other teams.
And Devon Achane.
And it's not even that you lost. Like, losing is one thing. It's the way you lost and who you lost to.
You lost to Indiana
Daniel Jones.
Indiana Jones.
Looks like prime Tom Brady.
He looked like Peyton Manning. It literally looked like Peyton Manning was out there.
It was crazy. Like, I can't help to think the Dolphins will have the first overall pick this upcoming draft. It was
100%.
just so bad.
I would 100%. Them and the Saints. But
at least the Saints kept it to one possession.
Yes.
I think the Cardinals are a better team than the Colts.
Yes.
They kept it one possession to a better team compared to the Dolphins getting their backs blown out by Daniel Jones.
They're just
like, what are we doing?
Point being, I don't think this is an overreaction in the slightest. I fully expect them to have the number 1 pick.
Yeah, as of now, at least, absolutely.
My second overreaction is I think the Packers are the team to beat in the NFC. After 1 week, they hold the Lions to 13 points, who were the most explosive offense in the league. I understand they don't have a Ben Johnson anymore. They still got all the same players, though. All those players that were making plays for them last year are still all there. You want to know the craziest part about that game? The Packers lost the time of possession by that game by 11 minutes.
Yeah.
And still had 20 more yards of offense. The Lions ran 18 more plays and still outgained them by 20 yards.
By just 20, yeah.
Micah only played 45% of the snaps and had a sack.
Yeah.
And the offense was super efficient.
Too. Had a few pressures in there.
He played 45% of the snaps.
Yeah.
Like, you imagine when this dude's playing 90% of the snaps
fully
with him?
healthy, yeah, and understands the playbook. Yeah.
And the offense was efficient. Like, they bring in a Matthew Golden, not even necessarily saying that he's the one that, like, was the game changer, but he just opened up the offense.
Which is why I really liked when they picked him, because he adds a different element to that offense.
And it's not necessarily just because he's not getting the ball doesn't mean the offense isn't
He's
better.
a different receiver compared to the other ones that they have.
Yeah.
Like, he just brings a different element.
They had a lot more of, like, downfield stretching with speed guys.
That's his game.
And then, but, like, he's more the intermediate. I'm going to route you up. Like, he just fits very well into what they're doing. Tucker Kraft looks like he's going to be a stud for them. He was last year, but, like, caught a touchdown in this past game. I just really like what the Packers are doing. And Michael Parsons is playing 65% of the snaps. I don't know if the Lions scored 10
sacks.
I don't think the Lions scored 10 points.
Yeah. So I'm gonna cheat a little bit.
Okay.
It's a half overreaction. I think yes, the Eagles did not, like, convincingly beat Dallas, but I think until proven otherwise, you just have to respect the Super Bowl champions and just say, at least as of now, after 1 week, they are still the best. Not only, yes, in the league, but especially the conference. Mm-hmm. However, I cannot blame you or anyone after week 1 looking at all the NFC teams and being like, that one's the better one, because they did look like the best NFC team.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that my favorite team has to play them in a couple of days. But it's hard to disagree after looking at their performance and everyone else's performance and being like, nah, that's not the best NFC team. Because they played like it. They really did. And the roster says that they could be the best team in the entire NFC.
Do you want me to say what I just said again?
No,
the Lions had the ball for 11 minutes and almost an entire quarter more.
But that also brings into my point, and I got a lot of hate, most of it respectable hate. I got a lot of hate a month or two ago saying that the Detroit Lions were going to regress this year. I'm not saying they're going to perform like this every game this season. However, like, losing all those coaches matters.
Yes.
I don't care what you haters in the TikTok comments say. I know it looks like I don't know what I'm talking about. With our experience, we at least somewhat know what we're talking
especially,
about. Like you can't lose that many coaches at what they were doing at that prestige, and all of a sudden you think you could just continue on as normal. Like, it just does not work like that.
I think it's
most of the time.
A lot of people just look at it from, like, they're playing Madden.
Yeah, like, it's like,
coaches
this stuff matters.
Coaches are the biggest game-changing factor. You can have the best players on the field. Patrick Mahomes would not be Patrick Mahomes if he didn't have Andy Reid with him.
Look, and I hate
Bill Belichick or Tom Brady would not have been Tom Brady if he didn't have Bill Belichick.
I
look at every single scenario of a good player. You got to look at the coach that they've had.
I hate to bring up, like, go so off topic here, but I'm a huge sports guy. I think, and correct me if you disagree, if you agree, whatever. I think a coach in football is, I'm going to say, is more important than a coach in pretty much any other sport, because I feel like all other sports, like you not that you could have a bad coach, but even if you have an average coach, if you have an amazing roster, that amazing roster could get you very far. It's like that in basketball. I'm a huge soccer guy. It happens in soccer. It happens in all these other sports. It happens in baseball. In football, like, you can't really go that far if you don't have the coaches in place to take you there.
Well,
you just can't.
That's the most crucial part that you just said there. Coaches.
Yes.
In a lot of other sports, basketball, baseball, it's mainly basketball go. They obviously have assistant coaches.
Yes.
But that head coach is really the only one that's really getting listened to.
Yes.
During an NFL game, an offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, head coach,
special teams coordinator, huge person.
They are talking more than the head coach.
Assistant head coach, pass game coordinator, run game coordinator, on both sides of it. Like, there's just a lot of heads that have, especially at the NFL level, that just have a lot of say in what goes on in practices and games every day in the facility. So to lose a lot of those guys who were very good at their job.
There's the reason they are the only sport that wears headsets on the sidelines. Yep. They all have to communicate with each other within a span of 5 seconds or a 40-second game plan.
Literally speaking different languages to each other. Yep. Literally. So like you can't just continue on with different coaches and those coaches being as good as they were and just think you're going to continue on like nothing happened. Which full circle brings me to my point. Maybe it was that convincing of a win just because the Lions aren't what they used to be. I'm not saying they're bad. I still think they're going to make the playoffs, but I don't think they will be the Lions they were the last 2 seasons. So that's why I'm saying hold off a little on the best in the NFC. Wait until, if it happens, Philly falls off or they're not looking as convincing. Then I'm like, sure, go ahead, put Green Bay. Let's say hypothetically Green Bay beats Washington by 20 on Thursday. I don't see a reason why not to put them at number 1 in the NFC.
Even if the Eagles were to beat the Chiefs?
That's a good point. I mean, I think it's definitely those two. I'm going to throw in Washington in the top 3. I wouldn't blame you for putting Green Bay ahead because very convincing win. Like, if you want to put Green Bay 2, Washington 3, I'm fine with that. But, I don't know, like, I think it's between those 3 as of now for the best teams in the NFC. I can't blame you for, as of now, thinking the Packers are number 1. Just wait to see what happens with Philly before we are for sure like Green Bay is the number 1 team there.
That's fair.
My number 2 overreaction. This is a little bit of a two-parter. Brian Daboll had little to do with Josh Allen's success and could easily be the first head coach fired this year. I really wish I wrote down the stats I saw, but I was busy working and it kind of slipped my mind and whatnot. If you look at Josh Allen's game with Brian Daboll and without Brian Daboll, I don't think he really needed Brian Daboll. Like, Josh Allen is just that good. I don't think Brian Daboll was this QB offensive guru that created Josh Allen, and that's why he got hired to the Giants to begin with, is to be that offensive and QB guru. He was supposed to save Daniel Jones. That didn't work. What happened? Daniel Jones went to the Colts, looks like Tom Brady now, and the Giants, my God, Washington, at least offensively, did not play that good of a game. They just did not. Still killed them by like 15 points. That should not happen on year 4.
Yeah.
We're in year 4 and the same issues that are happening to your team are happening 4 years later. I cannot blame the Giants if they're just done with Brian Daboll and want to move on in a few weeks. Because that game on Sunday, I enjoyed it, but I can only imagine as a Giants fan, just absolutely pathetic.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'll agree with you on the first part that
Okay.
I don't think it's an overreaction. I don't think Brian Daboll saved Josh Allen's career. It was that's Stephon Diggs.
And the only reason I bring that up is because that's why he was brought to New York. I mean, look what he did to Josh Allen. Look what he did to that offense. He could do that here in New York, and it's not even a fraction close
Yeah.
to what it was.
Will I say he had zero part in it? No. He definitely had a little
sure,
bit.
some because you're the OC, sure, but
I just think
Like-
the whole reason as to why Josh Allen took that next step is you bring in a guy like Stephon Diggs, you get a good O-line around him, you hit on some draft picks.
and there's a good culture
Yeah.
in Buffalo. Brian Dable has not created a good culture in New York.
It's all about losing weight and
did
using
you-
Ozempic.
Which, congrats to you. He lost a good amount of weight. You
Didn't
still
he
look like
kind
a
of
thumb.
gain it back a little bit? He looked a little bit extra chunky on the sideline.
Did
this
you
past
see
week.
him and Malik Neighbors getting into
Yeah.
it a little bit?
Yeah.
Like, don't worry. Hey, Malik, we're saving you in a couple years. Just write out your contract.
No, you're coming to Buffalo.
No. Unless y'all trade for him. If he goes to Buffalo, it's because y'all traded for him. I'm letting you know now. If he hits that free agent market and Jaden's still in Washington,
Why wouldn't he be?
yeah, I'm
You're
saying
writing
just
it into
assuming-
this.
No,
You
no.
just wrote it into
Just
the
assuming.
universe.
I want to play it safe. Just assuming. Of course we fully expected Jaden to still be on the team 10 years from now. However, crazy things could happen. I don't think it will. Regardless, whatever team Jaden Daniels is on, that's wherever Malik Neighbors is going. Don't worry, bro. Washington's coming to save you in a few years. Just hang in tight. We're coming for you.
So to finish what I was saying, secondly, I do think it's a little bit of an overreaction. The only reason I will say that, you said he was going to be the first head coach fired.
I could see a scenario where he
Is that what you said, though?
could easily be the first head coach fired this season.
I will disagree with you mainly because of Mike McDaniel.
Fair
I think
enough.
Mike
Fair
McDaniel,
enough.
and I think the only thing that will save him a
Jackson
little bit
Dart.
of time is Jackson Dart.
So I wouldn't even say off topic. I of course, as a Washington fan, I love to see whenever we beat a team, I love to see the other team's reactions and see them get angry and whatnot. Especially it being a rival, love seeing Giant fans meltdown. I don't understand why Giants fans want Jackson Dart to go in this week. That is the worst case scenario. Did you see that O-line?
Yeah.
You want Jackson Dart to be fed to the wolves? That O-line can't stop anything.
I will say this. From a Bills perspective, we started Nathan Peterman week 1
Yes.
of Josh Allen's rookie year. We had Josh Allen in that game by halftime because we were down 38-0.
Was your offensive
Yes.
line?
Yes, that was the reason we lost.
Then look, then maybe sure. I don't think it's smart because he's gonna get thrown in, and that O line can't stop anything. Like, I want to make an analogy, but I
just
just
think-
be too offensive, so I'm not gonna say anything. But
I just think at this
it's
point
bad, man.
that they have to. Because it's the exact point you're making right now. If they don't put him in there, they're going to get him out of there.
I mean,
and they're going to bring somebody in there that will put in Jackson.
Look, and it's obvious that's why they. I won't say that's why they drafted Jackson Dart, but like
If they get blown up by the
it was
Cowboys
obvious
this
they
week-
needed to draft a quarterback this draft in the first round because they needed to save their jobs. It was obvious. So obviously, if it's not looking good, you're gonna have to throw him in because you need to save your job. So like obviously, at some point in the season, Jackson Dart will be starting for the Giants. I just think. Just try to strengthen your O-line a little bit more.
mean,
before you
Andrew
just
Thomas was
throw him
out.
to the Wolves. Yes, but I'm beyond. It was so bad. Like
How did Evan Neal look at guard?
I don't even think he played.
Did he not?
I don't think he played.
Really?
I'm not even trying to be fun. Correct me if I'm wrong, Giants fans. I'm pretty sure he did not play.
That's crazy.
Jalen Hyatt didn't get a single.
I mean, he's
down
not
either.
good.
Neither of them were good. But that's the whole point. Like another reason, like Joe Shane needs to go to. Like it's so bad all around for Giants fans.
Yeah.
I'm happy about it. Of course, I'm supposed to be, but it's very pathetic to watch.
Yeah. My third overreaction, and I don't think this is an overreaction in the slightest.
I would hope
This
not.
is truth. Straight truth. After what happened Sunday night in Buffalo, New York, only one man in the world can do what happened. The Buffalo Bills were down 15 points with under 4 minutes left in that game. And Joshua Patrick Allen brought the Buffalo Bills back from the dirt. And I think it's only fair to say that Josh Allen will go back-to-back winning MVP again this year.
I will first like to say I am happy he had the performance he did because I feel like I'm one of the few people that agreed with Buffalo that Josh Allen should have been the MVP last year. I feel like not many people agree with that. I was one of the ones from the beginning of when the season ended said it belongs to Josh Allen this year. And I'm happy he had that performance because I feel like that kind of helped show like this is why I earned it. Because that was a great performance by Josh Allen. It was amazing.
Do I need to refresh your memory on his stat line?
You don't. Oh, trust me.
33 for 46,
Go ahead.
394 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 30 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground, 424 total yards, and 4 touchdowns. Compared to the guy that everyone was saying was the MVP last year, who went 14-19, very efficient, 209 yards and 2 touchdowns.
He played very good as well.
6 attempts on set for 70 yards and a touchdown.
Very well as well.
279 total yards, 3 touchdowns. But you want to know what gets me?
What?
Would the MVP of the league not... All right, so I don't know how well aware you guys are of how the post-game interview went with Lamar Jackson. He basically was asked, why didn't you guys go for it on 4th down, on that 4th and 3? And he said, I would have fought harder for it if I wasn't cramping. What? You're the MVP of this league, supposedly, and you're crying about cramping? First of all, what is wrong with you?
He was cramping. I don't know what you...
All right, so you want to know the funny thing? He was not cramping at all. He got rocked by Ed Oliver on that play before and did not want to go back out there. But, I mean, if that's y'all's MVP, like, you can have that and you can just not want to go for it on 4th down and try to win a game. But, I mean, the real MVP just gets the ball back and goes down the field and scores. So...
I like that's a nice subtle drop mic from you.
Yeah,
I like that. What was the statement that Josh Allen is gonna be the MVP this year? That was the statement.
Gonna go back to back.
After 1 week, I don't think that's an overreaction. He had the best performance, regardless of position. I feel like in week 1, if we're basing this off of what has happened this season so far, which has only been 1 week, I would agree, and I don't think it's an overreaction that. I mean, again, it sounds dumb because it's only been 1 game. But technically, as of now, I think Josh Allen is the front runner for MVP after just 1 game. So I do not think that's an overreaction at all. Because hypothetically, if we had to vote right now for MVP, my vote, and I feel like 99% of votes out there should go to Josh Allen.
Besides Ravens fans, maybe.
Yeah, that's what's like 99%.
Yeah.
Because like, there's always going to be the ones like, oh, but
I just still can't get over the fact that he said, "Oh, I was cramping."
Cramps happen, man.
He wasn't cramping.
So you're Lamar Jackson. You know if you're cramping or not.
Huh?
Like you're saying he wasn't cramping. Are you Lamar Jackson? Do you know if
I will play the video right here of Ed Oliver laying Lamar Jackson out on that.
We improved our editing skills.
3rd and 10. And he just lays Lamar out.
Yeah.
He wasn't cramping. He was crying.
I mean, look, back to the statement. I would say I don't think it's overreaction at all. I agree with you. As of now, Josh Allen is the front runner after 1 week to be the MVP, back to back.
Thank you.
For my final overreaction, this was the one that slipped in after my my honorable mention. Pause. No Diddy. We don't fiddle things around here.
You didn't say anything about that. You said you slipped it in.
This replaced my honorable mention Jalen Carter overreaction. But after what happened last night, I can't help but think this. Out of the 6 quarterbacks that were drafted in the 1st round last year, Caleb Williams is the 6th best. There's a reason why I say 6th best, because I don't want to say worse, because as I've stated for over a year now, I would say a few months now, since last season ended. For a few months now, I've said all 6, well, it was 5, but now that J.J. McCarthy's playing, I'm going to move it to 6. I think all 6 QBs are franchise quarterbacks. I think they're all going to play very
Multiple
good
years.
football in their careers. So I don't want to say Caleb Williams is the worst because I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I think he's a very good quarterback. I think he is the answer for Chicago. However, out of the 6 that were drafted in the first round last year, I would put him last. Is that an overreaction?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's the only reason I would give you that it is that I would say it is an overreaction is we have only seen one game from J.J. McCarthy.
I think that's fair, but counter to that, in his one game, he outperformed Caleb Williams in his own house.
I wouldn't even really say that he outperformed him.
I would say so. If
McCarthy threw a bad pick six.
He did. However, one, who won the game. Two,
Fair.
when it mattered most in those clutch moments, who came through for their team. I'd rather have the one that came through for their team and got the job done than the one who didn't.
I would say it's very close. I wouldn't say he is the worst of the 6.
Who would you put?
McCarthy.
Okay. And it's hard to argue that because, like you said, it's only been one game.
Yeah.
However, I just think, would you put him 5th then?
Probably.
And it's crazy to say because, myself included.
From what we talked about, or from what I talked about earlier about Bo Nix, I think it's a potential question by the end of the season that he jumps
Sure,
Bo Nix.
but I'm just talking about right now.
Right now, probably
these
5th.
These are week 1 overreactions as of now.
Probably 5th.
I'd put him last, man. It's funny you're coughing because I need Steve's real bad.
I just still can't give McCarthy that nod after one game. And yes, it happened to be that they went head to head, and he did win that head to head.
To me, he looked more convincing than Caleb Williams. And again, I don't think Caleb Williams is bad or going to be a bad quarterback. You could ask this dude.
Oh, no. We were both huge Caleb Williams guys.
Before anyone got drafted in that class, I said Caleb Williams was the best QB. And I know I said best. It's been a long day.
He's the best.
I have my own Chicago accent. I said
The best.
Caleb Williams was the best QB in that draft class before anyone got drafted, before anyone played a single down in NFL football. I would have loved for Washington to draft Caleb Williams at the time. I'm a huge Caleb Williams believer.
I think everybody would have done the same thing.
However, after a season and a game now, I would pretty much choose every quarterback that got drafted in the first round last year over Caleb Williams. Again, not saying he's bad, but the 5 that played last year, I'm taking them over you, dude. You went head to head with JJ McCarthy, and his debut outplayed you, was more clutch than you. His team depended on him, and he came through when your team needed you. You did not come through.
Yeah.
You would be last for me out of all the first round QBs.
Now by week 10, my
this could be a different story by week 10.
yes.
Absolutely.
No, but I'm saying in my opinion.
Oh.
I think maybe you do put McCarthy ahead of Caleb at that point. But I still think Caleb has done more to this point in his career, obviously, because he's played more games.
Yeah.
But I just think it's unfair to say McCarthy's better after playing one game in the NFL.
I think that's fair enough. All right, those were our overreactions. That was good.
Yeah.
That was fun. Was there anything you would like to add before we sign off here?
Are we overreacting? Are we not overreacting?
If this happens to get going and we get comments going, I'm expecting a lot of hate because I'm expecting a lot of people to think we are overreacting. And we thought some of our things were overreactions as well. And it's only been one game.
I'm ready for all the Lamar truthers. I know. And it's it just sucks because they're both such good players.
Amazing quarterbacks,
but
man.
it's just gotten to the point where if you're a Bills fan, you hate Lamar Jackson, and if you're a Ravens fan, you hate Josh Allen. They just can't.
All
you
that
can't,
just for both of you to lose to Patrick Mahomes.
And the crazy thing is Lamar just can't beat Josh Allen, so that's the even worse part. So, I mean that's the worst part. You can have all the MVPs you want, you got to beat us.
I mean, you could say the same thing with Josh Allen and Patrick.
Yeah, he's
Mahomes.
not in the conversation right now. They look vulnerable.
We've had
Where have you been? Where have you been? They're
before.
vulnerable.
They're not.
They're vulnerable.
Whatever. Regardless, thank you guys for watching. We truly appreciate it. Like he said, comment. Let us know what we're overreacted to, what we're accurate about, what you disagree with, what you agree with, what you would like us to talk about next, or just in general. Make sure you like, subscribe, share the video, follow us on TikTok and Twitter at PM Football Podcast. We will see you next week. We have an exciting episode lined up for next week that we hope you all enjoy. So please watch next week. We will see you guys later.
See ya.